I do. I'm leaning towards reservation-wide voting. If there is, if it's a really good option, meaning that it's fair and equitable, you know, to the districts. So I am about fairness. I'm about equitable, and I do know the problems of you know, why people are asking for res-wide voting. So I think if it's the right option, I definitely would support it, but I definitely support the tribal membership having to be able to vote on that. That's one of the things that I do believe it's within their rights. And I believe that I would support to put it out there for res-wide voting. We're standing up to others. I have a real quiet voice, and but that doesn't mean that I'm timid. You know, I do speak up. I've been known to take up for a lot of other people. They don't even know sometimes behind closed doors how much I've actually stood up for other people. And when there are things like, if there's things that, like at the table, if there's a lot of bullying going on, I used to be an alcohol and drug counselor. So I do have those skills to de-escalate. And then I know when there's a point where you just can't de-escalate, that it's just out of hand, then that's something where you have to really put a stop to it. So I do know how to stand up to people when it's right, when it's necessary. Thank you.
Can we need to.
Hi, this is Deidre. Has other people done their introduction? What?
That's what I was just going to do, is stop to go back so you could do your introduction.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Am I the last one to go?
Yes.
Oh, darn it. I wanted to see everybody else's introductions, but
It is.
hi, everybody. I'm Deidre Ellsworth. Oh, okay. So you're going to post this later?
Yes.
Good, good. Deidre Ellsworth. I'm from Nespelem. I grew up in Nespelem. I'm born Deidre Williams. Married Frank Ellsworth from Inchelium. We've been married for 8 years now. Been sober for 4 years now. I have 3 kids, Rowena, John, and Olivia. And Rowena's married. Her and Cheyenne are starting their family. They have my granddaughter, Sadie. And then John, you know, if a lot of people already know John, and he's my son. Search his name in the Tribune. You'll see a couple of really good articles on him, and he's trying to work with his, but due to his special needs, he's limited. So, and then Olivia, my youngest, she is taking classes over at Wenatchee Valley College, OMAC. So I have a college student. So I just turned 50 this year. Let's see, I went to Lake Roosevelt. Did some college classes. I was recruited to Big Bend. I ended up going to Haskell, didn't like Haskell. It was too far from home. A year after I graduated from high school, I got recruited to play ball over at Everett Community College. So I stayed there for a year, met my kids' dad, decided to start a family. We moved back home to be close to family, and I've been here since. So I've been among you. A lot of you probably know me. My family, my mom, Lorraine Williams, my grandparents, Lige Williams, Annie Wiaipa Williams. We all grew up here, grew up close in the Longhouse, the Nez Perce Longhouse. I'm the Nez Perce Palouse Wenatchee bands. And I'm not sure if that's my 2 minutes. Or I'll go ahead and answer the question about res-wide voting real quick while I have the floor. But I do believe in res-wide voting when it comes to elections. I do believe that it would be nice to have maybe tiers of voting, say res-wide voting for the first primaries, and then district voting for the general, you know, something like that. But I think it's needed. We need more people to speak up for our whole reservation, especially off reservation voters. There's so many. But that's me in a nutshell. So thank you. I'm honored to be among all the rest of these candidates. And that's it. Thank you.
Karen is on the phone. She's.
I'll answer the questions.
Hold on. Let's let Karen go. I didn't realize she was here, and then Jared just arrived. So Jared, we know he's already elected, but he can give a brief introduction as to why he's running for re-election, and Karen is also running for re-election, and we'll let her go first.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you can hear me?
Yes.
Why? This is Karen Condon. I am running for re-election for position number 2, Omak District. And yes, I'm currently a sitting councilwoman, and my parents are Leonard and Jean Betty Condon. I grew up in Carter Valley, where many of you are familiar with Carter Valley. My great-grandparents on my father's side, Smith and Margaret Dick, and on my mother's side, Alex and Louise Arteaza. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be saying because I called in late and I missed the first question. So I guess I'm just giving a quick introduction. My desire to run for re-election has to do with my goals of straightening the tribe out financially, and that I know is a loaded statement, but I see a lot of issues with regard to some financial problems that need to be corrected. I believe that some of our programs are not working effectively and they're not addressing the membership's needs, and so those programs need to be re-examined and reorganization done if that's necessary. I think that it's important that we continue to be involved in natural resources issues. There are so many issues going on right now, and it can be overwhelming, but I think that it's so important that anybody that's running for council have a really good understanding of the natural resources issues, as well as health. I know that Allison is a candidate, and health issues are huge. You know, we're looking at starting construction on the new Omak clinic this fall, and so that will be a benefit to the entire membership as well as the Omak community, because it won't just be for tribal members. If we 638 the clinic, it'll be for anybody that's needing health services. And so I think that that's really important that, you know, that be mentioned, that clinic will be beneficial to everybody. Let me see, what else? I definitely support res-wide voting, have for a number of years. In agreement with some of the statements that were made earlier, more information will need to be gathered and examined, and then a membership vote will need to take place with regard to whether or not there's enough support for reservation-wide voting. But I think that if that is successful, I would like to see primary elections done at the district level. And for the general election, I'd like to see the reservation-wide voting. I'd also like to see that if somebody wants to run for chair or vice chair, that they run specifically for those positions. They will not be running for any of the other positions. So that will be an issue that will need to be vetted out to determine how that would work. And I support term limits. I think it's important that there be a limit to the number of years that sitting council can rerun for election. And so I'm going to stop right there. The one question I heard asked is, would you stand up in council if there was something taking place that shouldn't be taking place? And I'm a prime example of some of those actions that take place against me, but that doesn't stop me from standing up for myself and standing up for the membership. So I think that it's really important, regardless of who you are, male or female, that you have a voice and that you express your displeasure in any kind of unethical comments that are made towards others. I don't think that there's room on council. There's no room on council for any disrespect or put downs or anything like that towards anybody else, whether they're on council or whether they're a tribal member or a non-member that's coming in to to deliver any kind of messages to council for the membership. So I've learned how, over the years, how to stand up for myself. And I know that it makes people uncomfortable when they've come into committee and they've seen the arguments take place. And I understand that people are sometimes unlikely to say anything, and that's okay. They're not there to defend me. They're not there to put themselves at harm. That's for me. Anybody that's sitting on council, if you're going to be targeted, that you need to have a voice and you need to stand up for yourself as well as others. And so I think that I've done that effectively. Well, in my opinion, effectively. Others will argue that's not the case. But I think that I'll go ahead and stop for now. And I'm not sure who else is on the call. So I hope to hear everybody else's comments. Thank you.